Hi, guys. This is episode number 318. And together today, we are going to talk about that point in your business where you feel like it's time to transition from a B2C audience to a B2B audience. So, this episode is for you if you are an established subject matter expert, consultant, strategist, service provider, or a coach, and you've been doing what you've been doing for a really long time. You're probably very, very good at it. And you're wondering, what is next? You might be feeling like you're a little tired of continuing to consult or deliver the programs you've been delivering, and you're just sitting here at this place in your business season and in your life where you're thinking, Guy, how do I actually transition out of this business model? What comes next? Especially if you are a coach or a consultant and you are so immersed in that space, sometimes you aren't even aware of what's possible or even how to move into that next level. And so in this episode, I'm going to unpack for you considerations to think about, knowing when you're ready for this and actually how to get started moving in that direction, if that is a direction that you feel like the timing is right. So if that is you, you are definitely in the right place. This is number 318. So episode number 318. And I'm April Beach. If we don't know each other yet, I have been a business strategist and a consultant to people just like you for over 27 years. And here on the Sweet Life Entrepreneur podcast, we deliver coaching and trainings and strategies for you to think about that are going to move the marker for your business and frankly, for your personal life as well. Because you are probably like me and you know that business and life should be designed in harmony. All of the show notes and everything that we're talking about here can be found by visiting sweetlifeco.com, simply clicking on the podcast. And it's so great to meet you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and dive into this week's show. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into today's show. Today, I am talking to you if you are an established coach or consultant and you've been doing the work. You have been delivering the strategy. You have been leading the teams. You have been leading the students and the clients. You are the product. It's your genius. Even if you've put them into programs, systematize them, basically, you are the one. You are the program. You are the product. And your business is doing really well. You have delivered amazing results and you've helped other people or other companies get results in whatever your area of expertise is that you consult or coach on. Now, you then may reach a time in your business where you want the way you work to look different. But you might not know what that could be. Like what comes after the launches, what comes after the masterminds, what comes after the VIP days, what comes after I relaunch my new program and I have all my partners and my affiliates. What else does your life look like in terms of your way of working? And so I'm really excited to record this episode because this is one of the primary areas that we help coaches and consultants transition from that B2C over to a B2B business model. And so I wanted to record this episode to help you think about what their transition could look like and just to help open up the world of what could come next for you to start understanding and to start considering your options. So right before I recorded this episode, I actually had a phone call with a friend of mine, and she's been a very well-established coach in her space for over a decade. She has her things she does. She has her programs that she launches, and she's just feeling like she's kind of done with that. She's done always being the one delivering the coaching. Now, that doesn't mean she doesn't absolutely love it. It doesn't mean it doesn't fire her up every time she leaves a strategy session with a group of clients. She absolutely loves what she does. But here's the difference. She's ready for a different way of working. She's ready to do more in her mind, what she thinks is something next, something higher level, more strategic. And she's kind of done. And I don't want to say getting tired, but maybe you are getting tired with it. So this relates to you with her current way of working. And she has made a lot of money. She's a 7-figure entrepreneur. She's made a lot of money and she's just wondering what is next. And I have this conversation with our clients all the time. So I want to have this conversation with you. And that's what we're talking about here on the show. What is next? What does that next level of business look like for you? What could it look like for you? And I'm going to unpack some suggestions here, or maybe not even suggestions, because I can't give you specific suggestions. We're not actually in a personal conversation here, but I'm going to unpack some options based on what our clients do to help open up the doors for you just to be thinking about. But first, I want to start out with some very, very important strategic questions for you to ask yourself. And this is the one thing I think that either stops you from moving forward, either not taking time to answer these questions, or it may direct you to move forward in the wrong way. So the reality is when you are to this point in your business and you are ready to build this next level business model, you want to be doing business different. You want to be reaching more people. You want to be making more money, but you really don't want to be working as much as you probably have in the past. So there are some important things that we want to think about because this next level of business is very strategic and it needs to be right for you. You've put in the time, you've put in the effort, you've put in the marketing, you've put in the content creation. So as we're moving forward, I really want for you to make sure that this is going to be the right next level business design. And so here are some strategic questions that I want you to think about. And the answers to these questions are going to help you to identify what are those next level opportunities that you could walk into. Basically, what are you going to do next? What does this work life look like next? So the first thing I want you to ask yourself is, how important is it to you that you are known for your area of expertise? And the answer to that, there isn't a right way, there isn't a wrong way. I was just coaching a group of clients in our licensing accelerator this morning about this same question, meaning that it is totally okay if you want to be known as the end all be all as a creator of these things that you have been doing in the past. That's important. It's important to identify that you want to be known for that in order to clearly build the next level of what you're doing. If you don't need or want to be known for that and you want to go in a different direction, that's great for us to know as well. So question number one is just for you to be thinking about, how important is it to me that everything I've done in the past is well documented and it's a legacy and I'm going to bring this with me into the next level? Or we can still leave that there, all your footprint, all of what you've been known for. We can even continue to help that B2C side of your business continue to make money without you. But when we're talking about this B2B transition or this next level business transition, basically how much of that is coming with you? Does it just simply need to be repackaged in a different type of a way? Or do we leave that in an established business and are we building maybe a next level brand or a next level business? It's absolutely based on how you want your life to function 5 and 10 years from now. So question number one was, how important is it for you to be known for the work that you've done already? Is it important for you to bring the awareness of your creation of that IP with you? Or are we building something totally separate? The answer to that will determine what you do with your established offers and how you move forward in your next level business design. The next question I want you to think about is, what do you want your cadence and your work to look like in 5, in 7, and 10 years? Basically, who do you want to be working with? Who do you want to be talking to? Do you want to be talking to these people on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis? Do you want those conversations to happen in person? Do you want them to happen virtually? Where are you sitting when those conversations happen? Are you on the beach at a resort in the Bahamas? Are you at home in your home office? Are you in a structured office space with a team? Ask yourself, what is going to light you up in the way that you work? This is all about the way that you want to work. Because the way that you want to work, we can build any business model around that. But it starts with identifying and giving yourself permission to think about, how do you want to work? What is the way that you want to work? What do you want to be doing? Who do you want to be doing it with? Where do you want to be doing it? All of those things are very, very important for you processing this transition into a B2B side of your business. So again, what do you want to be known for? What is the way that you want to work in the future? And that's going to help you gain clarity on your business model. And don't worry, I'm going to give you some tips and different things that our clients build out as they move into this transition. But then the last thing I want you to be thinking about is, who now are your clients? So let me just say that again. Who now are your clients? In the past, in a B2C side of the business model, your clients are the end users of your products. You have always sold to the one that is utilizing your tools and your trainings and your systems within their own business or their own life. So in the past, the audience, your audience was the actual end user. Okay. Now, as you move to B2B and consulting businesses in a different level, who is your audience? Is your audience the actual end user still? And if so, what does that business model look like? In fact, usually when we transition businesses out of B2C, you're letting go of courses, trainings, workshops you've taught in the past, or at least we're restructuring how they're done without you involved. And we're moving you over to speak on more stages, write a book, consult at a different level. You are having a different audience for a different reason. You might be teaching your thought processes rather than your step-by-step SOP end result solutions. What part of what you want to be known for are you bringing in and actually teaching and delivering to that new B2B audience? These are choices you get to make. And as you go through and you give yourself permission, and that's the purpose of this episode, and you can actually be thinking about, wow, you know, these thoughts that have already been, I already know this. By the way, if you are here and you're thinking about transitioning to B2B, I already know that at least some of these thoughts have been floating around in your mind, probably with zero structure, just kind of popping into your mind, and you have been already processing some of these. And we already know that because you are smart, you are an established business, and so then therefore these are the smart next questions that you are automatically processing and thinking about. What are you going to sell? What are you going to do? Who are you going to do it for? Why is it going to be important to them? So again, think about, what does that actually look like, and what are you wanting to deliver to that B2B audience? Because they're no longer the actual, or they probably are no longer the actual end users of the training or the strategy or whatever it is you're delivering, because then you'd still be in B2C. But instead, we're designing a next level business model for you. And you're going to be doing, probably speaking on the same exact area of expertise, but how you're going to do it, like how we're delivering it, is going to be different for different people, for probably a different higher level, higher end, more strategic purpose. And so those are just some foundational strategies that, before I even give you some suggestions on how you can move forward in this and different things that you can create in a B2B business model, I just want you to give yourself permission to process those. Many more conversations need to be had around those. Processing them here with me on the podcast, this is like a little drop in the bucket. And here is why. Your strategy moving forward, we want to make sure it's right. And I already alluded to that in the beginning of this. If we're building and we're designing the next level of your business, we need to make sure we're doing it strategically right, based on what you want, based on your future business goals and strategies. It's very, very important. I don't want you to have to be in a position where you're rethinking this and where you might want to, totally scratch it and start over again. Let's do it right the first time, because time is our most valuable asset that we have. And I hope to give you as much time freedom as possible with the strategies that we deliver here on the podcast. I know we do that for our clients at the Sweet Life Company. That's what I want you to get out of this. So now let me give you some suggestions about different things that you can do, different ways you can move into this B2B side of your business. So the first thing is, look at those offers that you've been selling B2C, those trainings, programs, even workshops that you've been doing on the B2C side. can you or are you interested in still continuing to do them? Are you still going to keep that B2C side of your business? Frankly, most of our clients say yes at first. There is this tipping point. We have to tip the scales. So before we can move all the way into this next level business model, there's a transitionary period. And so let's say you're like most of our clients, yes, you're going to be working through the B2C sides of your businesses, and you're going to be continuing to profit on the B2C side of your businesses, and we can keep scaling that. That's awesome. But then ask yourself, are there pieces of those trainings and programs that I can actually now, instead of delivering them myself directly, that I can actually allow other companies to deliver them? That you can allow other companies to distribute them. So here's an example. If you have one sort of training or solution or workshop that you teach that you have sold, maybe you've done a launch around, whether it's a PLF or running ads to it and webinars and whatever that is, can we actually allow for other companies to embed that into their current programs? That is the easiest way, the smoothest, and the most entry-level way that we help our clients transition into that B2B business model, by taking the current trainings and programs that you're used to delivering yourself and allowing for other companies to deliver them within their programs. That is also a term that people throw around called like an embedded partnership. Really, the true term for that is called licensing. We talk about licensing a lot here on this podcast. It's not just like a spit and a handshake. There are some parameters around that that need to be done correctly to protect your IP and to make sure that it's a win-win situation for everybody. But just talking about the model of it, do you want to take trainings that you are used to delivering yourself, and now you can sell them and license them and release them to other companies to include in their programs? Immediately, we can take you out of being the one to deliver them, and we can benefit other businesses and their end users by allowing them to utilize and share your content. It's a really powerful thing, and it's a very simple transition. So we're taking the same product, but we're just releasing it to a different audience. We can take your same trainings and programs, but instead of you selling them to the end user, we sell them to the person who has access to all of the end users. Today in our Profitable Licensing Accelerator, when I was talking about this and I was helping our clients unpack what they had, that we were going through their assets and all of the potential of all of the different trainings that they could put into these licensed embedded partnerships. And we were going through these, and one of my clients asked, they said, gosh, you know what? It really was a comment. She said, gosh, if I realized that I could actually touch so many more people by selling it in this way to the person that already had access to my whole audience, than by trying to find my audience myself, I would have done this years ago. So it's not only a great business model for when you are ready to phase out of that B2C and actually doing the work, it is a very smart, profitable business model, because by doing this, you can actually reach more people with your work with actually less work for you. So that's the first thing. That's one of the primary areas that we work with our clients on at the Sweet Life Company, is creating those sort of partnerships and licensing their content. But there is another area that I want to share with you that maybe if you aren't ready for that and you're just kind of tipping the scales or playing with the B2B to B2C side of business and you're not really sure how to go through this transition, I want to let you know that you can actually go back to some high-level strategic consulting for B2B. So if you're trying to figure out, you're not really sure what you want to do yet, you're not really sure how you want to spend your time, you can very simply start doing some consulting with what would be your new audience, and you literally build relationships with them. You pour into them. You take your expertise and what you've been doing for years and you start building trusted relationships with that new audience, whether it is going in and meeting with them one-on-one or meeting with them virtually or providing insight. And the purpose of this is twofold. Number one is to build trusted relationships, like I said, with that new audience. But number two, it helps you to gain confidence and it helps you to get clarity on the different types of programs that you may want to start creating on a B2B business level. So when you're looking to actually transition and stop selling directly to your end user, but serve other businesses who then serve your end user, they have different needs. And you probably have amazing solutions to their different needs that are only a few degrees away from your actual assets and your products. I want to encourage you that moving into those relationships and just having conversations with these companies is also a really great way to gain clarity on what you're going to be happy doing in the next level. And frankly, what this new audience might need and want from you. You'll find it as you move into this B2C space that it's actually really, really simple. Whereas in B2C, we have complicated funnels. Even the guy that emails me all the time in my inbox saying, get rid of the complicated funnels, buy my short funnel, whatever it is, right? It's still a funnel. It's still a marketing strategy. When you move into B2B in a way that you're flowing in your zone of genius, you're in flow state, you're utilizing the assets and the resources that you have absolutely already created, you have developed results for other people, and you're moving forward in a way that is a different type of relationship to work with and partner with these other businesses in a way that helps their end users and makes both of your companies more money, then that is going to be the right direction for you, as long as it aligns with your zone of genius. It opens up your time in your life the way that you want it. And you're literally building a different cadence of work, how you work. The assets you release is different. So you can start just by taking the current programs you're selling B2C and now allowing other businesses to sell them, or you can start by meeting with and networking, consulting those other businesses first, and then creating new level packages and programs that are appropriate for them. When you do this, what all of our clients have found is that it opens up a massive amount of time for them to fill in other passion projects. And let me just end with a story. This is a mind-blowing story. And I can't say that I've ever been able to share this case study because I have literally never had a client come to me and tell me these results before. So I'll end this podcast with this. Last Friday, I had a conversation with a client named Cheryl, and we helped her move from teaching workshops into licensing. And it was she was very successful at it because she has amazing programs. And so when you have a great program, it's easy to move from B2C into B2B. But she literally said to me on the phone call, she's like, I can't believe how easy this is to sell. And I have so much time on my hands in such a short period of time, so fast. I have so much time on my hands that I'm just not really sure what to do with it. I have never, ever in 27 years of business coaching had a client call me to tell me I'm making so much money and I have so much time. I'm not exactly sure what to do. So I tell you that story because frankly, I mean, to be really honest, it blew my mind to have somebody call and tell me that. It's an incredible case study. It's definitely not the norm. Not everybody gets into this business model and all of a sudden 3 months later has so much money and time that they just are at a loss for what to do. So I'm glad it has worked out that way. Certainly not the average result. It does take more time to transition into this B2B business model for the other 99% of our clients. But I just want to share with you that when it's right, when you give yourself permission to figure out what you want that to look like, when designing this next level of your business is done intentionally and you have the ability to work through the strategy, it actually is that simple. Might not happen that fast, but it is that simple. Because this next level of business that we're sitting here talking about in this podcast episode is your next level of life. It's your next season of life. And you're here listening to this episode because you need it to be simple, because you want it to be simple, because you're tired of the complicated this and the constant working and the constant coaching and the constant doing and the constant hands in the mess. And so I want you to ask yourself, what does that simple look like to me? What do I want to be doing with my time? What do I want to be doing with my work cadence? What do I want my profit to look like in the next 3, 5, 7 to 10 years? And that is what I wanted to talk to you about on this show. How do you actually transition out of that B2C into the B2B? And I want to make sure you know that these are the things that I want you to be thinking about as you move into those decisions. Because these strategic decisions, first of all, you have earned the opportunity to be here, to be having this conversation. You would not still be here 23, 4, 5 minutes later into this podcast listening to me if you didn't know you were ready for this. So congratulations for being to a point in your business of doing great work where you get to be thinking about this for yourself. I'm really, really excited for you. And I can tell you this next level of business will open up so much time for you as long as you do it right. And as long as you give yourself permission to think about what you want it to look like. Because as I always say, we can build any business model to achieve any time and lifestyle goal that you want. But it starts with you deciding what you want. All right. Well, that is a wrap. I hope that you found this show, this particular episode, beneficial. Certainly, if you need help strategizing your B2C over to B2B transition, you're wondering what to build, what programs to sell, how to move into B2B, we would love to support you in doing that. You can visit us at sweetlifeco.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn at April Beach, and I'm happy to answer any questions for you. All of the show notes, the transcription for this, and all of the resources and assets we have available to you can be also found by visiting sweetlifeco.com. We appreciate you being here listening to this show, and I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks so much.